So why for hens? Well, only because I'm trying to be funny, and in Sweden we have a word for people for which we do not yet know the gender, and that's hen. So this is for you. I don't know your gender. This is direct pointing for hens. Yeah, to point out something might be very easy, like pointing out my hand here to you. But pointing out something which is not here, which cannot be seen, and might be something that you're not familiar with, then that's harder. I will have to try to describe it. And my description is not enough, because you have to experience it for yourself to know it. So this thing that I want to point out to you, it's presumably something that you already have. Right now you already have it, but you don't notice it. You're not paying attention to it. So when I first noticed it, I was like, yeah, it was felt super interesting. I knew I was onto something that was gonna be big for me, and I knew I was gonna have to investigate it a lot. And it started happening more and more often, and it for longer periods of time, and it really it felt like I was waking up, like other people say. It feels like waking up from being totally identified with my thoughts, waking up from being on a constant autopilot, and feeling uninspired, not feeling happy. And what it feels like waking up to is harder to describe, but clarity, appreciation of life, a great sense of freedom, openness, feeling carefree, and it kind of a big relief. And the most noticeable thing for me now in everyday experience, not always, but when I remember it and when I concentrate a little bit, is this sense of being open. It's almost like standing looking out on a great view, but it may be on the bus, it may be at home, and it may be whenever. This is what I'm waking up to is what I want to try to point out to you. Using this technique, very simple and concrete. So it goes like this: you point your finger towards your face, like that. And you just try to directly experience what are you pointing at right now. What are you pointing at? You know that there's a face there. People have been pointing to you and to your face and saying your name, and you've seen it in the mirror. But without that, without the mirror and without people, what is your actual direct experience? You can't experience your face. There's no face here in my direct experience. And I presume that it's the same for you. And it might be very noticeable. You might notice it easier when you point it out like this. So try it and see if you can notice this new thing that has already been there all the time, but not noticed. And this technique comes from a philosopher called Douglas Harding. You can read about it and try other experiments on a site called headless.org. Headless.org. And it's currently maintained by a guy called Richard Lang. Also, there is a Facebook group called No Facebook, which has currently more than 3,000 members. And it's a good name because that's feeling that you have no face is what you might end up with. Feeling that you have no face or no head really, but that there is more like an open space where your face and head used to be. And I think the key thing for waking up is kind of that you stop identifying with your thoughts. That's kind of the key thing. But this kind of techniques, like pointing like this, might actually help you to become interested in this thing. Because without having like a taste of it, then you don't know really where to start, and you can sit and meditate for forever, and you don't know where to start. So this is kind of a starting technique, I think.